direction. If there's no visibility into how the service provider gives the user that ability to feel comfortable about the controls in place, that's a very good chance that the cloud user won't head in that direction. Another item is insecure cloud software. And this is something that I've seen in the last 3 companies that I've worked for. And what I've noticed in some of these cloud providers is they'll tell you that they have security practices throughout the SDLC lifecycle, when in fact they really don't. They say that they do some checks and balances, but they're not looking for the right vulnerabilities or actually diving deeper. And in some cases, we would have to bring in a third party to come out and actually do the test and leverage that information and feed it back over to the engineering team. There's a few instances where some companies failed in that, where they brought a pen tester or a security researcher to do that work for them, but nothing was followed up. And what I mean by followed up is there's no secure coding guideline that was developed. There was no training back over to the engineering team. There was no follow-up team to do the work that they're supposed to do. So there are some areas of concern related to that as well. Malicious use of cloud services. I'm sure many of you heard in many different articles of individuals or attackers taking advantage of stolen credit cards and logging onto a cloud services and setting aside a lot of resources and then leveraging that resources to take or make an attack against another company. So there are some areas in that attackers can take advantage of. Account service hijacking, where some accounts are easy to guess, passwords easy to guess. Twitter has many different articles that came out where individuals' accounts were easily guessed. And then, of course, there's the malicious insiders. I had a couple of instances in one company about 5 years ago where 2 individuals were actually performing or doing some things that they weren't supposed to be doing. Luckily, we had tools in place that alert us for that. The alerts weren't real time. The alerts actually took us about a couple of days to figure it out, but eventually we identified the individual that was doing something malicious, and we were able to bring in the law enforcement and also communicate to some of our customers that were affected by this. This isn't Qualys, by the way. This is a past company that I used to work for. So there are some malicious insiders, and some of the questions you should be asking these service providers are, what type of incident management process do you have in place, along with monitoring solutions to identify any malicious insiders? Then, of course, there's other cloud-specific attacks as well. So what I want to do is talk a little bit about the research that Cloud Security Alliance is working on. And the reason why I want to cover this is that there's a number of different projects that we're doing, and we're always looking for subject matter experts to help with these projects. What I'll first do is cover some of the initiatives that were already completed and the dates provided. So the first one is the Cloud Security Alliance or Guidance version 2.1. And this is the one that I helped participated in. It was released in December 2009. Then there was the Top Threats Research, which was released in March 2010. And then the Cloud Controls Matrix in April, or a month after the previous one. Now, another one that's interesting that's actually coming up is the Trusted Cloud Initiative, which we're looking to release in Q4 of 2010. There are other 2 items in here that we don't have a specific date for, and we are always welcoming other people to participate in some of these working groups, such as the Cloud Metrics Working Group, the Consensus Assessment Initiative. Now, there's a lot of more information in this presentation that covers those top items. Unfortunately, I don't have enough time to go through it. We do have a lot of that information on the Cloud Security Alliance page. Feel free to visit that page. The other initiatives that we want to do this year, not sure if we're going to do this, we want to be able to have some people that are interested in looking at this and see if they want to participate, such as a Cloud Cert. Folks that have a background in incident management and forensics. If you do have a background in that, let me know. Pull me aside, and let's see if we can't work together on this. Part of this Cloud Cert will also assist coordination of cloud incidents, identifying what actual incidents occur out there, and maybe even create a list. Determine how do we use that information to educate other people. Then there's a user certification, which we're still trying to play around with and determine whether or not this is the right approach for us. And for the most part, there is a lot of interest and a lot of positive feedback that says, yes, we should have a user certification in place. And essentially what this does is test the competency of individuals that know the CSA guidance and know it well. And we're also looking for folks that can contribute to use case documentation. If you have some use cases that you're interested in sharing with the community, feel free to give us a chat and let us know. And